We're talking about our 32 Ford Tudor. I'm Mark, and my son is Scott. The two of us built this car together over a 7-year period. Um, I live in Los Angeles. It was built here in Montebello in this garage. It's a father-son project, backyard build. It's a work in progress, like all hot rods are. You're never done with them.
Right, awesome.
And this is an album of the build. This picture shows what the car looked like the day I took delivery of it in 2005.
Wow.
And it's a stock Model B 4-banger, 32 Ford, unmolested. It had been repainted about 25 years before I bought it.
And when was that? When did you buy it?
I bought it in 2005.
Okay.
And it was stock. It had nothing done to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical brakes, the original wheels and tires. I always wanted to do a father-son project.
Uh-huh.
My father wanted to do it with me. Unfortunately, his health was not good, and we never got to do that.
Okay.
I'm blessed because my son, Scott, has the same aspirations as I do and likes cars and likes, he's very handy in fabrication and very good with any kind of building of a car or a chopper or anything like that. Here's a picture of it as we're stripping it down. We actually did a body swap, as you can see here, using two 2x10s and 4 jack stands and 2 jacks.
Right. Yeah.
And we were told after it was done you can't do it like that. We were able to do it without scratching the paint or anything else.
Yeah.
We jacked it up, as you can see here, and here's another front shot of it.
All right.
And you can see once we got the body off, I didn't even take the fender welting off on the back. You can see that. Scott was able to take the rear wheels off and lower it down with a jack and slide it out. We sold this chassis with the original firewall and gauge package along with the rear tire assembly. This is a picture of the chassis that we bought at TCI, and this is when we just brought it home on our car hauler. And it has a front and rear sway bars, 9-inch Ford rear end, 4-link rear suspension, coilovers. It has 4-wheel power disc brakes. It has rack and pinion steering.
Mm-hmm.
And we had them do it, the brake lines and everything, so all we had to do was paint it. Here's another picture. It's a little out of sync before we actually lowered the body onto the chassis, because we had to put webbing in there between the body and the chassis.
Oh yeah.
The kind that Ford had. Here's a picture after we painted it and put the new firewall in.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 700R4 transmission built by TCI Automotive, but it's built with Corvette clutches and servos and special everything.
Again, you wanted to be a driver.
Wanted to be a driver. I wanted it to be a kind of a bulletproof transmission. Here's a picture of the crate motor.
Yeah.
We put a new Edelbrock tri-power manifold on it, and with Rochester 2G carburetors with progressive linkage.
Right.
And I put an Edelbrock high flow water pump on it, a polished one. As you can see, this picture shows how it looked before we put it in the car.
Beautiful.
It had the stock valve covers on it in these pictures, but we changed those at another time.
Yeah.
Here I am putting the flex plate on.
And you learned how to do this from your father.
Yes.
In this very same garage.
Absolutely. My dad owned a filling station during the Second World War in East Los Angeles. Here's where we mated the transmission up to the motor, getting ready to put it in.
Good, just on the back of a truck bed.
On the back of his, yes. That's how we got it ready to go.
I love this. It's like 2x10s lifting the body off the frame.
Yeah.
You know, using a truck bed as your workbench.
Right.
That's awesome.
So here we are getting it all together. Now we're hooking the lift up to the motor, getting ready to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
And
just make it look so easy.
Yeah, it actually at that point was.
Okay.
For us, it was.
All right.
And then here we are getting ready to put the motor and transmission in. Here I am getting ready to...
Oh, that looks great. Look
ready.
at that stance next to the original chassis.
Yeah, and then this picture shows the contrast between
Yeah.
chassis. And
Awesome.
here's both of them. Here's the car with the body on, the motor in. This also went with the original chassis.
Mm-hmm.
So the person that bought it only had to put a body on it. Car. So here we are, looking at the final product. Once we got the motor in, we were using block hugger headers to start with, and then we decided throughout the build, I would have Sanderson headers.
Right.
Build a special set of headers. They make these J-Ster headers, but I talked to Jay at Sanderson and I said, would you build me a set without the down tube? He's done a lot since then.
Right.
But that's
The very first set.
yeah. This is the entire
Without the cutoff and the down tube.
It's the exact. It's just this is the total exhaust system on the car. So here's a picture of Scott wiring up the car. He did that all by himself. I went to Ron Francis
Okay.
and bought a setup
Right.
with the fuse block and everything.
Yeah.
And all of the wire necessary to wire this car. Scott also had this dash panel made for me for Father's Day. He had
Wow.
somebody manufacture it from a piece of billet in order to fit within the confines of the stock 32 Ford dash. All we had to do was just cut it out for this piece.
Okay.
Because the Auburn dash, the stock ones hang down, you'd have to cut the bottom of this. So he made
Yeah.
it so that it would fit inside the confines, and then
Wow.
drilled it out for the switches and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a better picture of it.
Right.
Yes. And when Scott was doing this, I said, I'm going in the house.
Okay. All right.
Because
He's
there's
gonna go
only-
get a beer.
I wanted him to be able to concentrate on what he was doing.
Oh, sure.
And the next day, he did this in one day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The next day, he was leaving to move to Hawaii. Here's the floor, as we got a rough floor, and then here we had to make it fit.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a picture of it. We're just laying it in there to get an idea where the hole has to be cut for the shifter that's already on the transmission.
Oh, okay.
And we found out where to cut it, and then it needed a lot of filing, and
Oh, yeah.
here I am filing it.
Doing the grunt work.
So here it is, and then Scott ended up making the piece that goes between this lip
Oh, from the floor to the
to
firewall?
the firewall and these kick panels. Here he is, the day he's leaving for Hawaii,
Wow.
having a cigarette, getting his picture taken, getting ready to go.
Yeah.
And the only thing we did not do ourselves is we took this car on a trailer, that's this picture, to an alignment shop that does hot rod alignments, and they did a four-wheel alignment. This just shows the mohair interior that came with
Right.
this car.
Right.
We ended up putting Toyota Land Cruiser bucket seats in this car,
Right.
which I'll eventually have covered in to match this material. I signed us up for the Back to the 50s Barris Culver City Car Show,
Right.
May 12, 2012. And I said, Scott, we got to get this thing done because we're going to be entering the car.
Yeah.
So we got it done 2 days before the show.
All right.
And here's the pictures of it at the show.
Neato. So first show after,
First
well, I mean,
show.
you just got it done. So.
Just got it done.
Let's hear this thing fire up.